A lot of those goals that were scored at Victoria Ground this season were scored by Joe Allen. Joe scored a record number of goals for Hartlepool in one season, and I'm sure you'll enjoy him talking you through those goals.
Keith played the ball up the line, and I believe Don Hutchinson picked it up. He played the ball inside again, and Keith played it again up the line. Paul Dalton's done a magic dummy there, and he's left us with the easy task of putting it past the keeper. It was quite an important goal because we scored in the first minute, and obviously it's good to get off to a good start in the game. And Peterborough were one of the fancied sides in the league. John's picked the free kick up and played a short ball to Keith Nobbs again. Keith played it up the line, I think, into space, but the defenders actually played it back to me. I've played a 1-2 with Bakes, and the lads checked us in the box. So the referees give the penalty, and then you've got to think to yourself, oh Christ, I've got to take it. So just put the ball down really, shut my eyes and hit and hope, and fortunately it went in. It's relief when they hit the back of the net. The goalkeeper's cleared the ball and it's been knocked back into the midfield. And that little flick over the top by Paul Baker there, we've had a lot of joy with that this season. And I just had to go around the goalie. You find like defences in the 4th division are quite square, and we've had a lot of success with playing the ball over the top. And Paul did a magic little flick there to put us in the clear. And fortunately I scored. This led to the second goal. Again, I was put through, and this time the goalkeeper brought us down. And they've got that spot again where you say, no Christ. And this time, I think I did what Pop Robson taught us, play 1-2 off the goalkeeper. And after missing the penalty, I managed to get the rebound in. Even though the goalie moved before the ball was kicked. I was quite sick actually after that when I scored, because I missed the pen. Behave yourself. This time the Chesterfield game, Keith Nobbs has played the ball over the top again with the defence being square, and I went one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Now, you get yourself in a situation when you're one-on-one with a goalkeeper, and Pop Robson always used to say, make your mind up and stick to it. And as long as you don't change your mind, usually they'll go in. It's when you start to change your mind that you end up missing the target or hitting the goalkeeper. Fortunately, you don't have much time to think about it. And the end result was a goal. We've actually ended up being a goal behind after 10-15 minutes of intense pressure. And Tony Barriser was a former player for Hartlepool, being put under pressure. He's put the ball out for a corner. Now, I think there was only 2 minutes left, so if you see Rob McKinnon sprinting there, we were desperate to get the corner in because it was going to be probably the last kick of the half. And Rob's curled the ball in with his left foot, and it went over Paul Cooper's head, the goalkeeper, and I've had the task of heading it into the net. And it's always a good time to score just before half-time, because it's like scoring twice. It sickens the opposition. And the second half came then, and we really went to town on them. The ball's been pumped up forward by Paul Baker, and I've chased onto it. Fortunately, I had players in support with us. Little Brian Honor had pulled up to the right-hand side, and so often enough he's delivered a perfect cross in. And a simple task of heading it in the net. So many times this season, Brian, he was tremendous with the service that I got personally from the right-hand side. I know Paul Baker and myself really appreciated the job that he did. The same with Paul Dalton on the other side and Rob McKinnon. We're getting so much good service into the box. It makes it a lot easier getting on the end of crosses, quality crosses. Brian Cox has picked the ball up, give it to Rob McKinnon, started the move off. and Robbie's played a great ball into the space. It's got the defenders in all sorts of trouble. Paul's helped it on, and the lads handled it just as it's dropped in the box. He knew himself that he'd handled it. He never argued with the referee there, so a penalty was the right decision. It's funny because Barry Siddle is in goal now, who played for us back end of last season, and I never beat him in penalties in training, so I kept thinking to myself, God, don't miss this one. And there it goes. He gave us some stick after the game. Wouldn't take all that. I was looking at Pop. Pop wasn't looking. He shut his eyes. He didn't think I'd score. Robbie's picked the ball up, and Bakes has pulled away to the far post. Wasn't one of Robbie's better crosses, but he does better this time round with a perfect ball. Paul gets up really well, the back stick. Defender misjudges it. I have a little touch to set myself up and put it in the back of the net. It was good because I think it was 2 goals in 2 minutes then, and it killed Carlisle off and set us up for another good night. My trick for luck. Brian Cox has played the ball up early. He did a magnificent job for us through the season. I know everybody didn't appreciate the work he did, but he certainly was appreciated by the players, and he's played the ball up there. I think Paul Olsen's played the second ball in the box. There's a couple of men round us, and the goalkeeper's committed himself. Unfortunately, it's not how hard you hit them. I managed to hit the ball against the ground, I think, and the hard ground took it over him. But I wouldn't mind another 20 like that. And the ball's being put out for a throw-in. Keith Nobbs takes it. Tinks plays the ball into the box. He gives himself a little bit of space there. Plays a good little ball in. Bakes has flicked it again, and it's one of them where it's in the air. You volley it, it either goes into the stand and you look an idiot, or it goes into the back of the net and you're a hero. From a striker's point of view, you always like scoring goals like that. Gives you a good feeling. Another excellent team performance that night, because teams like Walsall, excuse me, are quite difficult to beat. Everybody thinks it's a foregone conclusion. Yet that's where your character's built on your side, and it was a good win for us. I remember there was about 4 or 5 minutes left, and there'd been all this talk about Norris, who was playing for Halifax and scored this many goals, and myself, and we were winning 1-0, and that was the important thing. And I just fed the ball to Brian on it, and Brian hit it in, hit the defender, and I managed to head it over the goalkeeper. I got a thick ear for me trouble, but at the same time it was well worth it. Ian Bennyworth placed the ball down for a free kick, but what you can't see is I've made a run off the defender, and Ian's played a perfect ball into the space. It's been flicked on by John McPhail. I took a touch and finished in the corner. It was quite a pleasing goal, because again, playing teams like Wrexham, everybody expects you to be beating them 6 and 7, and that's when teams can come unstuck. We've Drew Runcorn in the FA Cup, and Paul Olsen's played the ball in. There's been a mix-up between the defender and the goalkeeper, and been left to put it in the empty net. Second goal, Paul Olsen again played the ball in. Don Hutchinson's got up really well. I've just managed to get my head onto it. And the third one was from Brian on his corner, probably the best one of the lot. I swiveled and hit it in the corner, and that was in the 90th minute. The hat-trick was special to us because it was the first hat-trick in my career, and at the end of the game, obviously, every striker wants the match ball. And funnily enough, though, we're playing Runcorn, who haven't got the best resources available, for all they were really hospitable while we were there. and they wouldn't give us the match ball at the end of the game. So the lads clubbed together and made sure they got it for us. You know, it was really special. We've played all the shot and I went on one-on-one with a goalie again. The defender's come across and it's clipped the goalkeeper's leg as it's gone in. That was a really good win again because we played away from home and we've won 5-1 after a 6.5 hours bus trip. Not many people realise that we've travelled 6.5 hours to get there and then to play the game an hour later and to beat somebody by 5.